Did you know Rolex's incredible journey started with an orphan 12-year-old teenager who lost everything? His inheritance was stolen, leaving him with nothing, not even financial support. But his determination to turn things around. Instead of giving up, he left his hometown, moved from Germany to Switzerland, and hustled for years. Eventually, he followed his passion for watchmaking and started a small business. What he didn't know was that this humble venture would change the world of wristwatches forever and grow into a brand worth billions today. Hans Wilsdorf's life began on March 22, 1881 in Kombach, Bavaria, Germany. He came from a middle-class family involved in the iron tools business. His mother Anna fell seriously ill and passed away in 1892. Just a year later, his father Johann Daniel Wilsdorf also died, leaving Hans and his siblings orphaned when he was only 12 years old. After their parents' passing, Hans and his siblings were placed under the care of their uncles from their mother's side. In an effort to provide the children with a secure future, their uncles decided to sell the family business. A portion of the money was used to fund the children's education, and all the three were enrolled at the prestigious Steinem Coburg boarding school in Bavaria. For Hans, this sudden change was hard to handle, moving to a new town where he knew no one and without the financial support. He struggled to fit in. As a boy with a different religion, he was often teased and left out by other kids. This made him feel very lonely and sad during those early years. Hans turned out to be a great student, especially when it came to math and languages. He was really good at French and English, which ended up being super helpful in his career later on. Hans also developed a strong interest in travel and global cultures. During his school years, he befriended a Swiss classmate who often shared fascinating stories about his hometown, La Chaux-de-Fonds, a city renowned for its watchmaking heritage. These conversations captivated Hans, planting a seed of curiosity that would later guide him toward the world of horology. By the time Hans Wilsdorf turned 19, he had grown restless with his life in Germany. Frustrated with his circumstances and eager for change, he decided to leave his boarding school behind and set off for Geneva, Switzerland, determined to build a future for himself. Hans wasted no time finding work. He landed an apprenticeship at an international pearl exporting company, a business that specialized in sourcing pearls from various markets, then sorting, grading, and packaging them for sale to jewelers. While working there, Hans quickly noticed something fascinating. The company was not producing any physical products of its own, yet it was still thriving financially. This observation sparked his curiosity. Determined to understand their methods, Hans immersed himself in learning the company's strategies, from supply chain management to marketing and sales. The experience proved invaluable. Not only did Hans gain insights into effective business operations, but he also started earning a respectable income for someone his age. Hans Wilsdorf's journey took a pivotal turn when he received a letter from a friend offering him a job at Konogarten, one of the leading watchmaking companies of the time. Despite already working at a pearl exporting business that provides stable income, Hans' fascination with watches and the curiosity about the renowned watchmaking hub of La Chaux-de-Fonds proved stronger. In 90s, driven by his growing interest in horology, Hans moved to La Chaux-de-Fonds to join the Konogarten. The company was a major player in the watch industry, exporting around 1 million Swiss francs worth of pocket watches each year. In addition to trading high-quality timepieces, they also produced some of their own watches from scratch, giving Hans a unique opportunity to explore the craft firsthand. Hans was hired as an English correspondent and clerk, a role he secured due to his strong English skills, which he had mastered during his school years. For this position, he earned a monthly salary of 80 Swiss francs. His duties extended beyond office work. Each day, Hans was responsible for winding hundreds of pocket watches and ensuring they kept accurate time. This meticulous task gave him valuable insights into the inner workings of timepieces and deepened his understandings of watch production. During his time at Konogarten, Hans gained extensive knowledge about the complexities of watch manufacturing, from assembly techniques to quality control. This hands-on experience would later prove essential when he ventured out to build his own watchmaking empire. Unfortunately, after just 2 years with Konogarten, Hans' career was interrupted. He had to return to Germany to fulfill his mandatory military services. Though this time in Lashoda funds was brief, it had planted the seeds of ambitions that would eventually lead him to revolutionize the watch industry. After completing his military services, Hans Wilsdorf moved to London at the age of 22 to work for a well-known watch company. In this new role, he took a greater responsibility, focusing on increasing the company's sales. Over the next 2 years, Hans excelled in his position, successfully expanding the company's client base and steadily boosting sales. During this period, he became increasingly determined to start his own watch business and dedicated himself to learning everything he could to prepare for this future venture. While building his career, Hans also found love. During his time in London, he met Florence Frances McCarthy and they got married a short time after they met. This marked the start of a new and meaningful chapter in his life, both personally and professionally. One day, Hans Wilsdorf found himself deep in conversation with his brother-in-law Alfred James Davis. As they sat together, they spoke about their lives and future ambitions. During the chat, Hans shared his growing confidence in starting his own watch business. However, there was one major obstacle. He lacked the capital to turn his dream into reality. Alfred, being older and financially stable, believed in Hans' potential. Despite Hans' young age, Alfred recognized his passion for watches and his dedication to the craft. Trusting his ambition, Alfred decided to invest in Hans' business idea. The two shook hands, sealing the start of a new venture. In 1905, Hans and Alfred officially launched Wilsdorf and Davis Ltd, a company that specialized in importing and selling quality timepieces. This partnership laid the foundation for what would later become the iconic Rolex brand. To source high-quality watch movements, Wilsdorf and Davis partnered with Hermann Igler, a Swiss watch manufacturer known for producing precise and reliable movements. The company began importing these movements from Switzerland and fitting them into watch cases in England. This strategic move allowed Wilsdorf and Davis to create elegant and accurate timepieces. To strengthen their partnership with Swiss suppliers, Hans Wilsdorf and Alfred Davis opened an office in Bern, Switzerland. This move allowed them to manage their growing network more effectively. Soon, their company began specializing in distributing high-quality yet affordable timepieces, expanding their presence in the watch industry. Despite Hans' passion for watches, there was one aspect of the industry he disliked: the pocket watches. At the time, pocket watches were the preferred choice for men, seen as a symbol of masculinity due to their large, bulky design. Meanwhile, wristwatches were mostly worn by women as decorative jewelry. Wristwatches were often criticized for being unreliable. Their smaller size required more delicate movements, which frequently caused them to lose or gain time. As a result, many dismissed them as impractical, especially for men. Hans, however, saw pocket watches as inconvenient. He disliked having to reach into his pocket every time he needed to check the time, particularly when his hands were occupied. This frustration fueled his belief that wristwatches could become the superior choice if only they could be made more precise and durable. In 1914, Hans confidently predicted, "My personal opinion is that pocket watches will almost completely disappear and that wristwatches will replace them definitively." Driven by this vision, Hans committed himself to developing a wristwatch that was both reliable and suitable for everyday use, a challenge that would soon change the watch industry forever. Determined to create the perfect wristwatch, Hans Wilsdorf spent several years traveling across Europe. During his journey, he met with numerous watchmakers, discussing the intricate details of watch designs and mechanics. From every year he founded his company, Hans began releasing his own wristwatches. Each new design reflected what he had learned during his travels. He continuously worked to improve the quality and reliability of his timepieces for both men and women. His company started to gain attention and build a solid reputation in the watch industry. By 1908, Wilsdorf and Davis had become one of the leading watch firms in England. Hans Wilsdorf passed away in 1960, but his company continued to grow. Rolex shifted its focus to becoming a luxury brand, marketing itself as an exclusive choice for individuals of high status. In 1985, Rolex became the first watchmaker to use 904L stainless steel, an extremely durable and expensive material that further increased Rolex's value and durability. From an orphan with nothing to his name, Hans Wilsdorf built a global empire that redefined the watch industry. His passion for precision, innovation, and smart marketing shaped Rolex into the world's most recognized watch brand